We throw the word chaos around all the time, but what if I told you that what we think it means is actually based on a huge 2,000-year-old mistake? Yeah, let's get into it. Okay, so when I say the word chaos, what's the first thing that comes to mind? Seriously, take a second, picture it. I'm willing to bet it's something along these lines. Right? Some kind of jumbled mess? Total, utter confusion. A frantic, disorderly scene. And that's the definition we all run with. But here's the kicker. The folks who actually invented the word, the ancient Greeks, they would probably look at us and just shake their heads. Because what we call chaos today, it's not even close to what they were talking about. All right, let's start digging into the real meaning here. And the first thing you have to get your head around is this. Chaos isn't confusion. For the early Greeks, it just wasn't. So, where did we get this idea of a jumbled mess? Well, it turns out it's basically a translation error, a really old one. We inherited it from the Romans, who came along much, much later than the archaic Greeks who first used the word. Okay, so what did the archaic Greeks mean? For them, chaos wasn't a state of being at all. It was a place. Think of it like the primordial gap, the big void. It was the spatial interval, that empty room that was absolutely necessary for the universe to even start. It was, quite literally, space itself. Now, you might be asking, how can we be so sure? Well, the first big clue is actually baked right into the word's DNA. It's all in the etymology. If you trace chaos way, way back, you get to this Proto-Indo-European root. And you know what it means? To gape or to yawn. Just think about that for a second. When you yawn, you're opening up a space, right? Your mouth becomes this big, open cavern. It's not about mixing things up. It's about creating an opening. It's kind of poetic, right? The universe didn't start with a bang. It started with a yawn. And what's super cool is that you can see the linguistic cousins of this word scattered all over. The ancient Greek kasko, to yawn. Old English Ghanaian, yep, to yawn. And even the Latin chasma, which we still kind of use today, means a gulf or an abyss. They all point back to the exact same concept, a big, wide open space. Okay, so this isn't just some dusty linguistic theory. This idea of chaos as the gap is actually the cornerstone of the whole Greek creation myth. It's a move from myth to physics in a way. Let's go to the source. The poet Hesiod, writing way back around 700 BCE, lays it all out. He says, "Verily at the first, chaos came to be." Now pay attention to that phrasing, came to be. It implies it was an event. It wasn't just there, it happened. A space opened up. And only after that could wide-bosomed Earth or Gaia show up. And this order of creation is absolutely critical. Think about it. First you have chaos, which is the gap. That's the where. Then you get Gaia, the Earth. That's the what. It makes perfect sense, right? You can't have stuff if you don't have a place to put the stuff. Chaos is the stage, not the jumbled up props. This really sets up two completely different family trees for the universe. On one side, you have chaos, the container. And what does it birth? More emptiness, things like darkness and night. It's the parent of voids. It never, ever creates matter. Then you have Gaia, the contained. She just appears inside the space that chaos made for her. Okay, so if the original meaning was this clear, this logical, how on earth did we get it so wrong? Well, this is the part of the story where things take a very sharp turn. This is how the meaning got lost. You can basically pinpoint it to two key moments. The first domino falls around 300 BCE, when the Stoic philosophers start messing with the definition. But the real game changer, the one that broke it for good, was the Roman poet Ovid around 8 CE. He's the one who popularized this new meaning, and it stuck for 2,000 years. It starts with a philosopher named Zeno. See, the Stoics had this worldview where a true void just couldn't exist, so original chaos was a problem. What did he do? He did a little creative etymology. He basically claimed that chaos didn't come from husko, to gape, but from chasthai, to pour. And just like that, with a little linguistic sleight of hand, chaos transformed from an empty gap into some kind of primordial liquid. And then Ovid just took that idea and ran with it. His epic poem, Metamorphoses, was a massive bestseller of its time. And in it, he gives us this incredibly vivid picture of chaos as a raw, confused mass, a messy pile of badly combined, discordant atoms. And because his work was so popular, that's the image that got burned into Western culture. That's the definition that came down to us.
So let's just pause for a second and put these two totally different ideas side by side. The original gap versus the new disordered mass.
I mean, look at the difference here. The original Greek model, its primary meaning is a gap, an opening. Its state is empty, dark, and its role is super active. It separates the earth and the sky. Now look at the Roman model from Ovid. The meaning is confusion, a disordered mass. Its state is heavy, dense, clashing, and its role, totally passive. It's just a lump of stuff waiting for some artisan god to come along and sort it out. And this isn't just about word definitions. This is a massive shift in how you view the universe itself. In the archaic Greek view, the universe is generative. It grows, it unfolds organically, like a plant sprouting from the earth. But in the Roman artisan view, the universe is built. It's constructed, like a house, by a divine creator working with a pile of raw materials. It's a completely different way of seeing our origins. But here's my favorite part of the whole story, the final twist. Because after centuries of being misunderstood, the original Greek meaning of chaos actually made a secret comeback in a word that you and I use all the time. Get this, the word is gas. In the 17th century, a chemist was looking for a word to describe this formless, airy, expansive substance he was studying, and he deliberately reached back to the original Greek chaos for inspiration. It was the perfect word to describe the primordial, empty expanse. So the true meaning was hiding in plain sight all along. So let's end on this note. We're so conditioned to see chaos as something bad, right? A mess we need to clean up, a disorder we need to fix. But what if we thought about it the original way? If chaos is actually the quiet, empty, necessary space that makes all creation possible, what does that change about how we see the void? Maybe it's not something to be afraid of. Maybe it's the ultimate space of potential.